they were using what we know of today as the internet military in Turkey. And he was like, yeah, man, that's what I was part of. And part of the thing is that he's very much like, there's all this technology that's out there. And this technology is like the government or the military will use it first. And then it becomes part of the public sector. He says another example of that is Siri on your iPhone.
I don't like it.
It used to be called SIR, SIR. And he told me what it stood for. And he's like, that's where it comes from. He's like, we were using it and then it went there. Now, personally, Siri's garbage, but sorry, Siri.
For now.
For now, even though you're listening. And I'm so I want to walk this break really well because of what I'm going to tell you here in a second. So I talked to him the other morning and he had done a speaking event this week. And his whole thing when he does a speaking event is this possible? So what he'll say is, my background, he'll show you the patents. Here's a patent on weather modification. Here's the 666 pattern from Pfizer, whoever it is. And he's like, I just ask you to ask yourself, do you think this is possible? The weird fog that we all had a few months ago rolling through Florida, and they tested it for all these chemicals that are in it. It's like, would it be possible that the government could do something to its own people? Well, history would say that it would.
100%.
And I'm like, yeah, man, tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah. This is so good.
He's got good stuff.
He's got really good stuff. He's like got really, really like interesting, but if you don't know, you might listen to him and go, oh, this guy's a whack. But he's not a whack. It's all legitimate. He actually teaches. One of his things that he does now is he lives up north, and the university, it's a pretty big university. I won't say the name because I want to protect the innocent here. He teaches ethics in technology.
No such thing.
So a lot of times he'll say, look, is this possible? Or so do you believe what you see? Anyway, it's just really, really rich conversation. I was just like salivating at everything he said. He was talking about nanotechnology. And a lot of people, himself included, believe that this is where it gets weird.
Yeah.
This is where like suddenly the bone is going to get shut off the air.
Yep.
That the thing that a lot of people were forced to get in 2021 because they had the flu, receptors of a nanotechnology weapon.
Yeah.
When they had the flu, one of the interesting protocols is nicotine. Nicotine can fight off this supposed nanotechnology and some of the lingering effects of the thing that people had to get. Anyway, we had this really cool conversation and I was like, man, that was so much fun. And it's so cool to think about it. Now I'm part of his like private group where we meet like once a week to like, and his whole thing is like, is it possible? And listen, people are waking up. So let's just simply support one another. And I should also mention, he comes from a very Christian background, not in a negative way where it's like, these are the end of days, but it's almost a matter of fact. It's like, well, listen, if the elites want transhumanism and the melding of the machine and mind, which we know that's coming, it's like, what can we do to just preserve ourselves? So anyway, what made it interesting was I recorded the conversation because I wanted to be able to have this to then like play it for my wife later. Because I was like, oh man, it was she was on another call. And I was like, hey, when you get home tonight, we'll watch this conversation because he said some just really cool stuff. Recording didn't record. And not only did it, let me say that different. It recorded, but it didn't come through. It was all gurgled. It was all weird. I use the recording technology on my Zoom. It's called Fathom every day for my client calls. Every day, nonstop. Every call is fine. This one wasn't.
Of course not. Of course not. We're going to get like
the bone is off the air right now or something.
I wish. No, because what they'll end up doing is they'll just make us sound crazy and they'll just convince everybody that we're bananas. But it is that I love this so much.
I know.
Have you heard of the Blue Light?
Oh, yeah.
The Blue Light Project? So there's Project Blue Beam. They've been doing studies on people and the effects of blue light on your psyche and emotions.
Yes.
And did you know that when you're subjected to, I think it's like 6 to 8 hours of blue light a day, your emotions can literally be manipulated in real time? It does some one of the receptors in your brain when it's hit with that much blue light, it just opens up for whatever's next.